Today on Sugar Spun Run, we're going to be making an easy BLT dip. Hey Sugar Spun Bakers, Sam here, and today I am really excited to be sharing another carefully tested, well-researched, and perfected recipe. Today's recipe is incredibly easy. It is a BLT dip. It comes together in just a couple of minutes. I think you're going to really love this one, so let's go ahead and get started. Today's recipe starts with a cream cheese, sour cream, and mayo base. Now, I'm making enough for a crowd, but you could easily cut this recipe in half if you are only serving your family or you just want a batch for yourself. We're going to start with 16 ounces of cream cheese. This is full fat cream cheese, and you want to make sure this is softened so that it's going to be easy to combine all of our ingredients together. Before I add any of my other ingredients, I do like to briefly use my electric mixer to beat the cream cheese, just because I want it to be smooth and creamy and lump-free. This is just a good way to ensure that this is the case. All right, next we are going to add 1.5 cups of sour cream and just 1/2 cup of mayo. For flavor, we'll also add a teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder, 1/4 teaspoon of smoked paprika, and I also like to add some freshly ground pepper to taste. I'd say I usually add about 1/4 teaspoon. Just stir everything together until it is smooth and completely combined. All right, we're done with our electric mixer. Next, we are going to prepare one of our most important ingredients, the bacon. You're going to need 8 pieces of bacon for today's recipe, and you can just go ahead and crumble that if you'd like, but I'm just gonna use a knife and just finely chop the bacon. We'll take half of that and we'll drop that right in with our cream cheese. And I just like to use a spatula at this point and stir everything together, make sure that bacon is well combined. We'll just push this bacon to the side for now. Now you can serve this dip in whatever dish you'd like. I find a 9.5 or 10-inch pie plate works best. Today I am using a quiche dish, and I'm just going to evenly spread that into the dish. All right, let's get back to our cutting board where we're going to prep our tomatoes. I use 2 Roma tomatoes, and I like to slice them in half and remove the insides, because if you use these tomato guts, it's going to make your dip really watery on top. You don't want that. So we're just going to scoop these out and discard them. Because I don't like to have a watery layer on top of my dip, I also like to just take a paper towel and really briefly blot the inside of the tomato. All right, then we'll dice this into small pieces. These are pretty big Roma tomatoes, so I may not use everything, but I'm just gonna cut it all up for now. I also have 1 cup of shredded lettuce here. You can use iceberg or romaine, whatever you prefer. And I have a single green onion that I'm just going to finely slice. The last topping that you're going to need is 1 cup of finely shredded cheese. Now we've got everything, so let's go ahead and assemble our dip. I just like to start by sprinkling my lettuce evenly over top. Then we'll add our tomato. This is a BLT dip, so there's nothing wrong with using a lot of tomato. But I don't think I'm gonna use quite all of this because, like I said, my tomatoes were pretty big. We will add our bacon. All the bacon we have left can just be scattered over top. And we'll sprinkle our cheese over top. Then our green onion. And lastly, I like to use a couple grinds of freshly ground black pepper on top. All right, now this dip is almost ready to serve, but for the best flavor, you want to make sure that you let it chill in the refrigerator for at least 1 hour. If you can let it sit overnight, that's even better. This is just going to help make sure that flavor fully develops. And that is how you make my favorite BLT dip. If you guys tried this one out, please let me know what you think. I always love hearing from you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.